This is CBS 7 News at 10. Your eye on West Texas.
As a society, keeping our children safe. This is how we will be judged.
President Barack Obama is launching the nation's most sweeping effort to curb gun violence in nearly 2 decades. Today, he unveiled a $500 million plan that he says will save lives.
Today's controversial announcement comes just 1 month after the Connecticut mass shooting that killed 20 children and 6 adults. The president's plan is asking Congress for a new ban on military-style assault weapons like the one used in that shooting. The president also signed 23 executive actions that do not require the approval of Congress to strengthen existing gun laws and take related steps on mental health and school safety.
And jumping out ahead of Washington, the state of New York enacted the nation's toughest gun restrictions yesterday, and the first since the Connecticut school massacre. The new law includes an expanded assault weapon ban and background checks for buying ammunition.
The debate over these proposed new gun laws has West Texans split. We set out to ask the question, should assault weapons like the AR-15 be legal?
CBS 7's Jennifer Samp joins us now in the studio with both sides of this argument. Jennifer?
One gun store owner told me that President Obama is the best salesman he's ever had. But despite these gun runs, many say the country can do without him. It's triggered a mass consumption of assault weapons. The fear that semi-automatics will be banned.
It has been unbelievable. We have been totally swamped all day long.
Enough.
President Obama asked lawmakers to ban assault weapons like AR-15s and limit ammunition magazines to no more than 10 rounds.
2438.
The action has many asking, why are these high-powered guns and bullets needed in the first place?
You can't find it on the internet. You can't find it in stores. It's just nowhere.
Hunters like Timothy Harwell say the high-caliber weapon is no more dangerous than shotguns, and it all comes down to preference.
Why do people need AR-15s?
You can do many things with them. Target shooting, hunting animals. Some people just like the look of them. You know, it's personal preference. That's part of the option there and the right to have them.
Just because it's an AR-15 does not mean it's an assault rifle. That somebody's going to take it out and shoot somebody with it.
Still, many West Texans have mixed feelings about the issue, saying the weapons are not meant for the public.
Not unless it's for, like, military purposes. I mean, why would I need a gun like that?
I wouldn't see why you would need to shoot off that many rounds in 30 seconds.
It's really not necessary.
Well, they're probably unnecessary, but I think Second Amendment gives us the right to have whichever one we want.
We did our own digging and found an article by the U.S. Department of Justice that says when a similar ban was put in place in 1994, the study found the ban did not reduce the number of victims per gunman when a mass shooting occurred. We'll post this article on our website. Just go to CBS7.com and click on this story. In the studio, Jennifer Samp, CBS 7 News. Back to you.
Jennifer, thank you. Today's call for action by President Obama consisted of 2 components. First, he signed 23 executive actions, and second, he called on Congress to pass tighter gun control restrictions.
So what does all this mean? To clear up some of the confusion, CBS 7 is breaking down the president's plan. First, we'll take a look at the executive actions signed by the president. These measures will not require the approval of Congress and will go into effect immediately. Those signed today include orders to make more federal data available for background checks and for the Center for Disease Control to study gun violence. Another executive action helps young people get mental health treatment.
But the other part of President Obama's plan will need the approval of Congress. Those measures ask Congress to renew and expand a ban on assault weapons and limit high-capacity magazines. The president also wants lawmakers to close loopholes that allow private gun transactions to occur without background checks.
The president's gun plan has caused a wide range of reaction from our politicians. Even one Texas official is urging New York gun lovers to move to the Lone Star State. Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott was on hand to speak at today's Midland County Republican Women's Luncheon. He said while the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary was truly horrific, it shouldn't be used for political gain.
It's inappropriate, however, for politicians to overreact and take actions that are both counterproductive and unconstitutional. And so what we're prepared to do is to ensure that constitutional guarantees are not stripped away because of political overreaction.
The Texas Attorney General has also launched an internet ad campaign inviting New Yorkers who feel their state's new gun laws are too restrictive to move to Texas. To read Governor Rick Perry's reaction and to look for President Obama's gun control plan, we put it up on our website at CBS7.com.
New tonight at 10 o'clock, a 14-year-old ends up behind bars after Midland police say he fled the scene of a crash and then crashed into a building. It happened about 5:30 this evening in the 300 block of Terrell. Emergency crews found an SUV that had passed completely through the building. An employee tells us the owner of E&R Automotive was pinned between his desk and the debris. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say there were also 2 adults inside the SUV. They denied treatment for their injuries. According to police, the underage driver was involved in a hit-and-run crash prior to this accident on Terrell Street. The teenager has now been charged with failure to stop when involved in an accident and aggravated assault.
An oil field worker is airlifted to a hospital following an accident on a drilling rig in Andrews County. It happened just before 5 o'clock today on Patterson Drilling Rig east of Andrews. According to the Andrews County Sheriff's Office, a 38-year-old El Paso man was injured after a pipe rack shifted and fell onto his leg. The injured worker was airlifted to Medical Center Hospital in Odessa for treatment.
Despite recent rainfall, West Texas is still fighting a bitter and brutal drought.
Now, several cities are looking at what's underneath Ward County as a solution to the water crisis. CBS 7's Felicia Bolton was at a meeting tonight where the subject of water was on the forefront of everyone's mind.
Today, West Texas leaders gathered at the Ward County Community Center to learn more on the possibility of a new water source. With drought conditions in West Texas, officials are looking for a longer solution to the water crisis.
The drought conditions we've had over the past year and a half, very critical out here.
Representatives from the Texas Water Development Board and the Middle Pecos Groundwater Conservation District gave details into the Capitan Reef Complex aquifer, a possible new water source in the basin.
It's an aquifer that we're very much interested in getting brackish water out of to desalinate to provide future water source for Odessa.
The aquifer is a hook-shaped source of water about 2,000 to 5,000 feet below the surface, branching through West Texas counties, and is currently used by oil companies in their drilling process. But the Middle Pecos Groundwater Conservation District says this could change.
You can sit over here. Well, I hope it holds up. But what are you going to do if it doesn't? That's where water management is important.
Weatherby says the water from the aquifer in the area under Winkler, Ward, and Pecos counties would need extensive cleaning, and it would be a heavy cost. The Texas Water Development Board says that changes to the aquifer to allow it to be used by cities couldn't be made until 2015. Reporting in Monahans, Felicia Bolton, CBS 7 News.
Felicia, thanks very much. The temperatures went up today, but the chilly wind really kept West Texas under a cool sun today.
That's right. Let's check in right now with weather specialist Daryl Ward for a look at what we can expect overnight and, of course, for our Thursday morning. Daryl?
And good evening. Yeah, we had a very nice day. Sunny skies, a little breezy, still cool, and it is starting to chill down again with the sunset. Clear skies allowing the temperatures to drop off fairly quickly. 35 right now at Midland International. West winds at 8 miles an hour, humidity 76%. And here's where we're going in the morning. Still another pretty cold morning. Maybe not in the teens, but talking mostly 20s. Clear at 27 in the morning in the city of Odessa, 27 in Midland. Light winds out around the area. 29 in Big Spring under clear skies, and for Pecos, 27 in the morning when you get up. 30 even in Fort Stockton with clear skies pretty much all around the area. 23 in Alpine, and for Marfa, clear. They're going to be pretty much cold spot of the state there. 17 in the mountains. Now here's what we're talking about tomorrow, Thursday. Sorry, misprinted the day there, but it's going to be another cold day for your morning. 17 to about 29. In other words, be ready for another cold morning. We are going to, however, start seeing temperatures get a little bit warmer for 2 or 3 days, and I'll come back in a few minutes, and we'll talk about just how warm it's going to get, how long it's going to last. Jay, Tatum.
Daryl, thanks very much. More stories new tonight at 10 o'clock. The Martin County Sheriff's Office is investigating a drive-by shooting. Officials say this morning someone drove down I-20 firing shots at a local business. Deputies believe the shooting was random and the suspect used a .40 caliber handgun.
Martin County deputies also searching for a thief they say stole diesel from a water station for oil field trucks in Stanton. The burglar stole 400 gallons of fuel at a value of more than $1,100. They believe the same person broke the windows of a vehicle parked near that station. Anyone with information on both of these crimes are urged to contact the Martin County Sheriff's Office. Their number 756-3336.
A wild animal has been spotted in one Odessa neighborhood. Today, the Odessa Animal Control received 2 sightings of a bobcat in the area of the 3200 block of West 3rd Street. Police say the animal was not aggressive. Traps have been placed in that area. Anyone who spots the animal is urged to call the Odessa Police Department.
After a family member went missing last night, it was a happy ending for the family of an 80-year-old Midland man this morning. Police say Jose Barunda wandered miles from his home to a ranch north of town. They say he spent the night in a field. Not only did Barunda's family and law enforcement head out looking for him, but members of the community were also in on the search as well.
Really good to know that somebody else is caring about him and trying to find him.
The family of the Barunda family can rest easy tonight knowing that he is home to stay. The Gutierrez, the woman you just heard from, says that the family is looking into ways to keep this from happening again.
Federal agents say the man accused of threatening law enforcement officers and their families is undergoing psychiatric evaluation. Jacob Esparza, believed to be El Diablo, will be reviewed by doctors for the next 60 to 90 days, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Esparza was indicted last month on at least 6 federal charges in Pecos. He is accused of posting threats on a public forum against law enforcement officers in Midland, Pecos, Fort Stockton, and Big Spring.
The Midland Fire Department says that ambulance calls for flu-related cases are on the rise. Last year, the fire department said they responded to the most ambulance calls ever, and already this year, calls are increasing. Health officials, though, are recommending that you get a flu vaccine and visit a clinic instead of calling an ambulance.
The West Texas housing shortage is hitting us all, including our airport security. According to the Transportation Security Administration employees, recruiting is harder for the Midland International Airport because of the cost of living and limited housing options in our area. They say there is not a shortage of those employees, but the economic challenge is causing a concern.
One Midland City Councilman is urging council members to move their meetings to the evening. Currently, the meetings are held at 10 a.m., but Councilman John James says he wants to be as accessible as possible to Midlanders. Meanwhile, he is recommending one evening meeting to be held each quarter.
A new wildlife attraction will open its gates in Midland starting this Saturday. The I-20 Wildlife Preserve will offer guided tours and boasts fully wheelchair-accessible grounds. It is the first preserve of its kind here in the Permian Basin and includes feeding stations, boardwalks, and even a hawk tower. Still ahead on CBS 7 News.
Terrorists in Algeria are holding American hostages. I'm Big in Los Angeles. Coming up, the latest on the crisis.
But first, we had warmer temperatures outside today, but is this warming trend sticking around throughout the week and into the weekend? Weather specialist Daryl Ward is back after the break with a look at your 7-day forecast. You're watching CBS 7 News, your eye on West Texas.